Hi, my name is Jillian, and I'm going to talk to you about Travis's example that he brought up regarding the 5-year-old boy and learning to communicate. He brought up the question is are there appropriate times when reinforcing appropriate behavior is not appropriate? And regarding his example, I would say that yes, there are times when that's not appropriate. Um, when that boy is just using more instead of using the 3-word sentence that he's supposed to, I don't feel like he completed his task of saying what he was requested to say. Um, Reinforcing just having him walk up to you and say more, that's not helping his verbal behavior when he's not fully communicating what he wants more of. I have an actual personal experience in this because my son did speech therapy when he was younger. He's still in it now. But when he was younger, before he was using any vocabulary, or very limited, he was taught how to use the sign language for more and please. Yes, that was very nice and appropriate. But instead of trying to attempt any type of communication, verbal communication with me, he would just walk up to me and say, which is more. Sorry if you guys don't know that. And that became difficult because I wanted him to at least attempt the word more. Whereas the speech therapist kept telling me, "Oh, he's communicating with you. That's great. Make sure you give him what he wants." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what he wanted because how can you have more of nothing?" So that was difficult. I went back and forth with the speech therapist because I I understood what she was trying to say, but what she was trying to teach him, but I wanted him to verbalize. He's able to speak. So I wanted him to speak. I didn't want him to learn sign language. So I don't know if that goes quite along with Travis's scenario. I believe it does. But as a parent, I would feel like that would be unethical for the therapist to continue teaching that 5-year-old boy or to continue reinforcing that behavior of that 5-year-old boy because he's not doing what is asked of him. He's just using, he's supposed to be learning 3-word phrases, but then he's only down to 1-word phrases. He's back to the start, and now he's even back and saying, instead of even saying cookie, he's just saying more, which I feel like cookie is probably the more important word because he's communicating what he wants, specifically what he wants, instead of just using more. I think there are also times there's multiple times when reinforcing appropriate behavior is not appropriate. For example, I'm a recreation therapist, and I take many of my adult clients out into the community where we're learning social skills and greeting other people and making eye contact and saying hello, smiling. But there's times when that's not appropriate. And times like that are when we're in the locker room, when we're take clients out to go swimming. So we have to go in the locker room, we have to change. There's other people in the locker room changing. And that's not appropriate time to make eye contact and say hello and try and shake somebody's hand when they're standing there naked or they're standing there in a towel. So I have to remind my clients, okay, I know you're working on social skills and I know you're working on saying hello, making eye contact, but this is a time when it's not appropriate. So that's definitely a time in my personal life experience where it's not appropriate to reinforce that behavior, and I have to tell them, no, that don't shake that person's hand. That person's getting out of the shower, or don't say hi to them. You can smile and try and be polite, but don't stare, don't make eye contact when somebody's, um, you know, in their own personal time at a fitness center. So I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about this discussion, and thank you for listening.